Hey guys, today I'm going to review the Fiio KA15 dongle DAC from Fiio. This is the next iteration to the Fiio KA5. A big thanks to Fiio for sending in this review unit, but all the thoughts and opinions you're about to hear are my own. Now, I'll display some statistics and all the technical specifications on the screen. You can pause it and read it. I do not want to bore you with the things which you can read. So yeah, you can pause it and read it. Now let's talk about the build quality. Also, before I talk about the build quality, inside the box you get this really good case, which is really nice that Fiio included it inside the box, and you get this cable. So sadly, you do not get with USB-C to USB-A converter, but those are very cheap and readily available, so do not have to worry. So the main USP of this KA15, in my opinion, even before the sound, is that it looks very retro. So as you can see, it has this cassette player Walkman kind of look from Sony. I'll talk more about it in detail when I show you the software. So I got the blue color over here, which looks really good. And it looks like their CP13 cassette player, which Fiio has. So this is a USB-C port. I'm using a third-party OnePlus cable, by the way. And this is the lanyard hole. This is the sides. It has 3.5 and 4.4. By the way, this 3.5 has a killer feature which no other dongle DAC has, especially at the $100 price point, and very few dongle DAC has. So I'll talk more about it in detail later. And this is the button layout. This is the menu button. This is the volume minus. This is the volume plus, and desktop mode on or off button over here. So that's it. Now the case is really good too. The case, you get this nice lanyard loop kind of hole over here, and yeah, it's stitched very well. It's made out of faux leather. The cable is quite good, although it's a bit thin, but it's quite supple and soft, and it's very easy to stack with your DAC, with your tab or with your amps. So that's nice. So let's talk about the software a bit before I talk about the sound. So you double press it and you go to the menu. So as you can see, this is a menu. Now you have to long press it to get inside the menu. So there are many filters available. I did not notice that much different of a sound between the filters, but what I can say is the non-oversampling mode, which is what I am listening to it at, and which is what the review will be based on, sounds the best in my opinion, because it sounds a bit analogish, natural, and neutral. So I'll talk more about it in the sound section. Now this is the EQ option. I'll show more about the EQ inside the app. There are many EQs available, plus three user customizable EQ. This is the volume mode. You can go between 120 or 60. I have set it at 60. Now key mode, there are two key modes available. One is key mode B and one is key mode A. In the key mode A, you can use the menu button as play and pause with a single press, and the volume button is a single press. But if you use it in key mode B, the volume buttons aren't activated. It is only activated when you long press it. So that is key mode B. But the play and pause of the menu button remains the same. Now, this is a DAC class. There are two classes. One is class AB and class H. There is a very minor difference between the sound between the H and AB. This very well could be a placebo effect. But what I can say is that class H sounds a bit warmer. Class AB sounds a bit neutral. My entire testing was done on class H. Now the balance, it is something similar which you see with most dongle DACs nowadays. So if your IEM has any balance issues, or if you have any hearing impairment to your left or right ear, you can basically balance the audio depending on where you want it. This is the feature which I was talking about from the 3.5, is that the mic enable and disable feature. Now remember that this is a $100 tag. Now many people want a dongle DAC, but the thing about that is they also want to use a microphone with it. But almost any dongle DAC out there, let it be the Ibasso DC07 Pro, KA17, anything else, especially the more expensive ones, they do not have any mic support. So having $100 mic which has a mic support is really good. Yes, it is not something you might use it, but to the people, those who use it, this is really good and this is fantastic, because sometimes you might need to take a call when the DAC is attached. You do not have to unattach the DAC, open the IEM, take the IEM off your ear. You might miss that call, or it's quite a bit cumbersome. So having that feature over here is really good in my opinion. So if you use an IEM with mic cable, you can instantly use the DAC, but it's only via the 3.5, not via the 4.4. Now SPDI, it supports for SPDI via the 3.5. So as of now, I have it off. USB mode 2.0 or 1.0. 1.0 is supported for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5, if I'm not wrong. Now this is the brightness. There are 10 brightness levels. So from 1 to 10. A rotation, you can basically rotate it 180 degrees. Then display off. So at how many seconds the display will turn automatically off. Then VNC display. So what this is voltage and current display. As you can see on the main menu, below it is showing voltage of 4.9 volts, current of 150 to 150 milliamperes. So that is something it shows. By default, it shows born for music, but if you on it, it shows the voltage and current. And this is a theme style 1, which matches with the dongle DAC color. But you can also go to style 5, which is, instead of showing that cassette kind of thing, it will show you the voltage, the wattage, and the amperes. So if you want something, you can have that. This is a really cool feature. I quite like it. And also, if you want 4, this is the black color, this is the green color, this is the yellow color, and this is the blue. So I use the blue with VNC menu turned on. Now language, it supports English or Chinese version. As of now, this is the latest version. And reset, you can reset the DAC from over here, and filter. So that's the setting of the Fiio KA15. Let's talk about the app a bit. So the app generally supports whatever feature you saw inside the DAC, but I just wanted to show it still. So as you can see, this is the firmware version, the display, UAC version, language, power display off, EQ. So you can access your EQ from over here. This is the audio. You can change all the settings from over here. This is the low pass filters. I'm using the non-oversampling filters. Now this section is written in Chinese on the top, but if I'm not wrong, it shows coaxial output, so I'm guessing that it is SPDIF, but it is written in Chinese. I hope an update to the app will fix that issue. And then again, as usual, to your right hand side, you have the guide. So that's the app over here. So that's the software. Now before I talk about the sound and how it sounds, I've been using this setup with the Tripwin Aurora cable and my 7Hz timeless AE. The color match is really well and nicely done. So yeah, I've been using that. Also, one more cool feature I want to show you, which is when you play the music. So as you can see, the cassette wheel is turning, right? Now if I pause it from here, sorry, I don't think so it's accepting, but if I pause it from my smartphone, as you can see that it stopped. Now if I play it again, it starts. So that's a really nice touch. I quite like it. It looks just retro, and yeah, I don't know why, it's very simple, but I quite liked it. Now let's talk in terms of sound over here, how it sounds. This is my setup which I've been using for the past few days. This, I think so I got this from Colorfly, if I'm not wrong. Colorfly or someone else, I don't remember. And this is the Fiio KA15 and the Tripwin Aurora cable and the 7Hz timeless AE. So the color match is done quite well, so I really like it. And let's talk about the sound. Well, the sound of the Fiio KA15 is what I would describe it as neutral yet natural and analogish. So there is no coloration of the bass over here. There is no coloration of the treble over here. But the attack and decay of the bass is a tad bit blunted compared to something like the Ibasso DC07 Pro. So, but there is this good naturalness of the sound from the Fiio KA15. It pairs very well with IEMs such as the 7Hz Timeless AE, which has a bit of a shimmery treble because the treble is bit blunted, so it goes very well with bright sounding IEMs, and it goes very well with something like planar IEM like the 7Hz Timeless AE. There is one aspect of the sound which the KA15 does really well, and it's fantastic at it, is the soundstage. So the 7Hz Timeless A, why I like it, is it has very wide and spacious soundstage. It pairs very well with something like the KA17 because the KA17 gives you that nice sense of soundstage and imaging. But the KA17 is quite neutral sounding. So when you pair it with the 7Hz Timeless A, although they sound good for most songs, but it can be a bit fatiguing for long periods of time. With the KA15, the soundstage you get and the imaging you get from the KA15 is almost as equal to the bigger brother KA17. So when you pair the natural warmness of the KA15 and its wide, spacious soundstage with the 7S Timeless A, it sounds really good, and I mean really good. This setup, they look good and it sounds good. So that is what I can say for the KA15. I was quite surprised that it looks nice, it looks retro. It is very lightweight too, by the way. Uh, I forgot to talk about that. And so you can easily use the USB-C cable and hang it off. It won't put pressure on the USB-C of your transport and the USB-C of the KA15. So it is very lightweight. Just use a bit of a stronger cable like this is. So that might help with you that. And so yeah, that was really nice. The soundstage and the imaging, when paired with a good IM, they sound really good. So if you have any brighter sounding IMs, that will pair really well with the KA15. And the mic support, again, fantastic. I know many people do not like it, or many people might not even use it, but the few people like me who use it, this could be very nice. So I can just carry this dongle DAC and use it with any mic cable and any IM of my choice. And I can use this DAC to take the calls, and I can also use this DAC to have a good performance because I do not have the KA11 as of with me right now, but I really like the KA11. But I cannot take it with me because when I have to take the call, I have to remove that dongle DAC and put in another dongle DAC which supports for mic input, or I have to take the call on earpiece. Here, if this stays connected and the mic option is enabled, I do not have to do anything. I can take the call directly with my IEMs. Again, I know I'm a very minority for this, but that is a fantastic feature because even the Fiio KA11, the Acclaim PD5, the SimGot U4X, the Awful Snowy Night, the Ibasso DC07 Pro KA17, nobody supports that mic input. The KA15 does, and it sounds good. So that's a really great feature to have. So yeah, that's my review of the Fiio KA15. I really liked it. So one more thing I forgot to say is that the battery draw of KA15 is really nicely done. It's very well matched. So if you have something which is demanding, it will then need the power. It will then push for it. If not, then it sips on power. So the 7S Timeless A is a bit power hungry, and I have to play it at higher volumes. So that time the KA15 will suck a bit more battery. But if I am using something very, let's say, which doesn't take much power, like the SimGot Super Mix 4, then this sips on battery. So I can use it with this Hibi R1 without any issues. I can use it also with my smartphone without being scared that it will draw the battery too much from my smartphone. The K17 is very power hungry and it gets hot very fast. Compared to that, the K15 is really good. Now, comparison. In terms of sound comparison, the K17 is neutral. It has a tad bit more of a wider soundstage and better imaging. But the soundstage and imaging part, you won't notice much. But yes, if you want pure power, then the KA17 is better. If you want pure neutral sound quality, then the KA17 is better. But what the KA15 does at $100, it just satisfies 99% of people out there. So you shouldn't worry about that. Now the Ibasso DC7 Pro is where you will notice the difference. The Ibasso DC7 Pro has better soundstage, better imaging. The tactility of the bass is better if you are pairing with similar IEM. The attack and decay of the bass is better over here. You can buy two of the Fiio KA15 with the price of one Ibasso DC07 Pro. But the thing is that if you want the pure sound quality, then the DC7 Pro is better. So no doubt about it. But the KA15 will satisfy 99% of users out there. No doubt about it. So if you have especially something bright sounding IEMs, if you have planar IEMs like the S12 Pro or the S12 or 7 Hz timeless A, these pair very well. So keep an eye on the KA15. Now, in terms of battery life, if I'm talking, the KA15 does sip on battery. I got around 10 to 11 hours of battery playing with a 7 Hz timeless A from 3.5 millimeter at around 30% of volumes. The Ibasso DC7 Pro does fare better, but yeah, the KA15 is a lot better when it's compared to the Fiio KA17, because the KA17 is very bad at battery life. Although it is powerful, I think so I get about 7.5 hours with my 5,000 milliampere battery smartphone. So do keep that in mind. So yeah, that's my review of the Fiio KA15. If you have any doubts, please do comment below and ask, and I'll try to help you out. 94% of the people watching this video aren't subscribed, so I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. That really helps me out a lot. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.